Ugh, aren't you tired of all these boring Skyrim challenges? Beat Skyrim with a fork, beat Skyrim without walking, beat Skyrim with a nuke. Wait, what? And then you also have these people who just walk across the map. Yes, that's it. How could this be any fun? I thought. So I decided to try it myself. But I added a bit of spice to it and came up with my very own challenge. Walk across the whole map, but you have to carry a buddy with you. My name is Treppo and you're about to witness the dumbest Skyrim challenge ever. And here we go. The journey begins. After escaping from Helgen, I was free to make my own choices and explore the breathtaking landscape of Skyrim. I came across this friendly dog and the not so skilled hunter trying to catch a fox. My first place to visit was Riverwood. I needed a willing participant for my challenge. That means I needed a dead body.
A dragon!
A dragon, you say? Crazy old woman. Does this guy look familiar to you? Maybe it's because you forced him to carry all your trash around and later left him to die in a dungeon. He is a wood elf named Faendal, one of the earliest companions you can recruit. And all you have to do is aid him in a rivalry he has with Sven. They are both into the same imperial girl. Therefore, Faendal asks you,
Could you give her this letter and say it's from Sven?
What a scumbag move, isn't it? Nevertheless, I helped him and delivered the note.
You can tell Sven that he already has a mother.
Of course, the wood-chopping elf was happy to hear of my success and proceeded to reward me with a hilarious amount of gold. The other thing he gave me though was his absolute loyalty, and I made him my follower. We were finally ready for stage 2. Now that I had a volunteer, I still needed to choose a starting point and the furthest away location of it. When I measured the longest distance you could walk in Skyrim, I came to this conclusion. Starting at the northwestern coastline, I would have to walk all the way to the small path just behind Riften in order to reach the other end of the map. So let's start our mission. After we ran into some Stender vigilantes who just ended a vampire's life, we proceeded our trip up north and finally arrived at our destination. Looks just like a British beach during summer. I just wonder what all these corpses are doing here.
Never should have come here.
After splitting his head with my axe, the beach was ours to enjoy. While Faendal was still on his way, I already took some practice lessons in dragging bodies around with me. But this goddamn mudcrab wasn't a fan of that. Thank God Faendal just arrived in time and saved my thick ass. In celebration of our combat success, I decided to enjoy the warm weather and go swimming. Please look away while I undress, okay? Hey Faendal, come join me. Faendal? Hey, Faendal, where are you? Oh, there he is. By the divines, you're better at diving than I am. Hey, didn't you once tell me that you never really learned how to swim? Oh my god. Faendal? No. I must save him. Where is he? There. Oh lord, is he dead? I can't believe my eyes. Faendal, let's get you out of here, my brave friend. You didn't deserve this. I made it to the shore. He's dead. He drowned. Talos, why? After mourning his death for some while, I realized my true task given to me by the 9 divines. I had to carry his body with me through all of Skyrim, but let's not waste time talking. Instead, let the adventure begin. Pulling this skinny wood elf around with me was harder than I imagined. He kept falling to the ground when I moved too fast. But eventually I found a way to sprint while carrying his body. That's when I saw this shady looking guy in front of us.
I'm on a pilgrimage to the shrine of Azura.
These goddamn cult people are everywhere these days. About a mile later, I had to listen to this Civil War nonsense and was told to join the Legion.
If you think you've got what it takes, our headquarters is in Solitude.
Treppo stays neutral.
What happened?
Ah, shite. I hope they're not telling General Tullius about my corpse companion. Before I had any chance of reconsidering my life choices, a big statue appeared in front of my eyes. It was Meridia. Oh boy, it goes deep down. How about you check first, Faendal? Good luck. Oh, don't worry, he's okay. Wood elves are like cats. They always land on their 4 legs. It was safe to continue our trip. When you thought that we had a break from the Civil War, then you were wrong. A filthy looking farmer on his way to join the Stormcloaks couldn't keep his passion for war to himself.
Ulfric has the right of it.
And therefore forced another stupid quest to start. Thanks. Shortly after, we arrived at good old Dragon Bridge. But before I could enjoy some rest, the courier appeared out of nowhere and gave me a letter from Sven.
Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only.
I know you killed him. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. In fact, I wanted to thank you. He will not be missed? I have no idea what he's talking about. Faendal died in an accident, I swear. In shock of such impudence, I needed to drink something strong. Luckily for us, the Four Shields Inn was open.
Hope you ain't here to cause trouble.
Oh no, I'm the last person in Tamriel to cause chaos. To my surprise, the ale was cheap and I bought a bottle. Our journey could resume. After our break, it was time to leave Dragonbridge, with Rorikstead being our next destination. There was nothing special to report on the way, besides a pretty view on Solitude and some kind of robbery aftermath. Oh, and maybe I should mention this Khajiit drug dealer
This one has something sweet for the fellow traveler.
that sold me some skooma. Unfortunately, our hopes of safe travels were cut short when we came across a bandit fortification. I dropped Faendal and started to shoot arrows at them. One of them taken out, there still was another bandit left. Not being very successful with my bow, I decided to go for axe and shield, because even more of them emerged. But they were no challenge. I wonder what these levers do. Apparently they spawn the bandit chief. Returning to my beloved companion, I shockingly discovered that he'd been hit with a few arrows. Even after death, he protects his master like no other. What a legend. Faendal told me to practice a bit before we returned to our trip. And he was right. Not much later, these wolves attacked us and I sent them to doggo heaven. Thanks to them, I even leveled up, improving my stamina for the miles ahead. We also found this oddly placed card. A sign by the gods, perhaps? Were the wolves protecting it? That's when I suddenly had the best idea ever. Why should I drag Faendal all the way to Riften when I could just use this card to transport him? How brilliant is that, huh? So I put him in there and pushed the cart up the hill. Now look at this. It works perfectly. Oh no, I forgot about gravity. Oh, why doesn't this thing have any brakes? But I didn't give up and pushed the cart up the hill once more. But when you thought it couldn't get worse, these bandits ambushed me. The guys I killed before must have called for reinforcements. Now I had to make a life-changing choice. Leave the cart and risk it rolling down all the way again, or keep pushing and defend Faendal to my death. I chose to stay. 2 guys dead, but their archers were still alive. My shield couldn't protect me forever, so I grabbed my bow and fought back. Bullseye! We made it, Faendal! I would never just leave you! I pushed and pushed and pushed him through the night. A guard started some small talk, but I wasn't in the mood for chatting.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
An arrow to the knee? Well, Faendal can relate. And there it was, Rorikstead. As glorious as ever. Hungry from all the walking, I visited the Frostfruit Inn, purchasing half of the barkeeper's possessions and renting a room.
Sure thing.
I slept until the next morning. I woke up when Eric started banging on my door. These guys haven't heard of hospitality, have they?
You're not looking so good. Are you feeling ill?
Yes, I do. Your beds are horrible. Having enough of this place, I rushed out to see how Faendal was doing. I didn't want to wake him up. He was looking so peaceful. Well, he's surely awake now. Rorikstead was our last civilized place to visit, and I realized that the interesting part of our trip was just to begin. Oh, look at the sunrise. Oh, hello there.
I think you might be sick.
You're the second person to tell me that I'm ill. Leave me alone and pray to Stenda. One wolf later, I ran into a man called Talska. Actually, he ran into my cart. Being annoyed by this bard, I gave him 25 gold to perform a song and slowly walked away. The path I chose also led us to one of Skyrim's most loved characters, Mike the Liar.
Maik carries 2 weapons to be safe. What if one breaks? That would be most unlucky.
You always say such wise words. I returned to my cart, but I was terrified to find it empty. Did Faendal despawn? My life flashed by in front of my eyes for a second. However, when I turned around, I saw the wood elf. Bless the gods. As we continued our way, these big guys suddenly showed up. Giants. But what were they doing here? And why were they coming my way? I had to hide quickly and let Faendal deal with the situation. To our luck, they probably were heading to Rorikstead in order to get wasted. I didn't expect any more giants to surprise us, but as we got closer to Fort Greymore, I found another one, and he tried to take over the castle for some reason.
Citizen, I'm warning you. Your presence is interfering with Imperial business. Be gone.
Imperial business, you say? Alright then. I guess people go to Sovngarde after all, no matter how. Oh, never mind, he came back. Distracted by the flying man, I didn't notice that the giant was now walking on the walls. Nature at its finest. I guess they're going to rename it to Fort Giant Toe. It still was a long way to the other end of Skyrim, but in the distance you could already see Whiterun in all its beauty. I wonder what Jarl Balgruuf is doing right now. Our peace was disturbed shortly after, when a group of Imperials passed by.
Such a shame.
Nothing could stop us from finishing our mission though. Nothing? Well, how could I be so wrong? Skyrim is a dangerous place, especially at night. All kinds of enemies can lure in the darkness. Wolves, bandits, and vampires. Do you notice something? I contracted sanguinaire vampires, one of the most annoying diseases you can get in this game. Perhaps you can grasp what role this will play later on, because when I repositioned the card for the 100th time, I got this notification. And that's when I realized how serious it was. That's the last stage before actual vampirism. I didn't want to become a blood-addicted, sunlight-avoiding goth junkie. Time was now essential, and I didn't have much longer until I would become a vampire. Therefore, I made the tough decision to leave behind our cart and carry Faendal for the rest of our way. I had a new objective: find a potion that cures my illness. In desperate need of a potion of cure disease, I checked out this by bandits controlled bridge. Possibly among their loot, I could find one. Bad idea. They crushed my head and I had to reload. Paying a small fee seemed to be the better option after all.
Fine.
However, the clock was ticking and I ran as fast as I could. The courier surprisingly showed up again. How is he so fast? Only the divines know what he's taking, but he must be doping for sure. Riften was our last hope of finishing our holy mission, and I made sure to hurry up in order to get there as quickly as possible. Besides being shot in a cave, eaten up by a spider, and talking to a dying man,
You're looking a little rough around the edges. You feeling all right?
our trip was without any disturbance. Oh, and have you met these guys before?
We've made a mistake. Now move along before that mouth of yours gets you into trouble.
They're looking for a red guard woman named Zadia, who's held responsible for betraying Hammerfell during the war. Faendal and I were going at a fast pace when these rift guards decided it was against the law to drag your dead best friend around with you.
You there. Wait a moment.
Nope, I definitely won't wait a moment. Running away from the guards, I met some drunk men who were living life at its finest.
Hail, friend.
They even offered me a drink.
Come, share a bottle of honey brew mead with me.
However, there wasn't much time to enjoy it.
Nothing like fine spirits to disgrace your...
I left them with the wolves and headed back to our path. As if the divines listened to my thoughts, another group of Stenda Vigilantes emerged. And to all my surprise, they actually offered to cure me of my vampire disease.
Stendar's light purify you of your ills.
How lucky is that? I didn't have to go to Riften anymore in need of a potion. Instead, our last stage of this adventure could finally begin. I was so relieved, so fortunate to have been freed from my vampirism. But not everyone shared my joy.
Hand over your valuables, or I will gut you like a fish.
Luckily enough, Faendal's lifeless body, that probably smelled horrible by then, scared away the thief, and we could keep going. We passed by the outer walls of Riften, and then reached the final path. That's when a fugitive appeared out of nowhere.
Take this and hold on to it.
Since Treppo is a law-abiding citizen, I told the hunter where this guy went.
Great. Thanks. Bastard stole from me.
And made my way to our final destination. What's that noise?
Brother?
Another drug dealer somehow. This time, I wasn't willing to pay and tried my best to intimidate him.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
What a fair fight! Thanks for the free skooma, buddy. Are we now finally able to safely reach the end of Skyrim? And yes, we were. No, of course not. Another absolutely random NPC decided it's his day to shine. Although the only thing shining was my shield in his jaw. No more surprises, no more enemies, no more bullshit. I wanted to finish my divine task right then and there. It was as if the whole world tried stopping us. Thankfully, no more unexpected dangers occurred, and the end was just a few feet away. Oh my god, it's official. We made it. We freaking made it. You cannot go that way. That's the message you get when you hit the end of the map. This was it. All the violence, all the running, all the fear. It was all worth it. Yeah, I know. This probably doesn't seem as epic as it felt to me, but carrying a body across all of Skyrim took so much time that you can't believe how happy I was to finally have an end to this absolutely ridiculous and stupid challenge. I've wasted several hours of my life for this, but no more. It's done. Completed. Mission passed. Alright, buddy, you deserve some rest. Yo, where's that horse coming from? What a view. This is the perfect spot to end this video. Let's prepare the last supper, shall we, Faendal? I bet wood elves like apples. No? How about some bread? Come on. Cooked beef. Delicious. Milk. That's for you. Get it? Because you're a milk drinker. Cheese wheel. Of course that's mine. Tasty. And last but not least, chicken breast. Ouchie, my head. You really aren't in the mood for dinner, are you? Oh, I nearly forgot. We found plenty of skooma on our way. Let's see if it really is as strong as they say. Tastes like troll piss. Holy shit. By the 9 divines. This is hitting hard, man. My whole body is shaking. Wait, Faendal? You were dead. Faendal, my friend, talk to me.
You want to talk to me? After everything you've done?
I'm so sorry. It was all my fault. I destroyed your life. Sven took your wife. And that rhymes. I can't live with this. Goodbye, cruel word. No! Not again!
Have you always been that ugly? Stop. Try to trap.